If you don't enroll into Medicare at the right time, you can trigger penalties that will last the rest of your life. And most people don't even realize that they're doing this wrong because you don't know what you don't know. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly when you need to enroll into Medicare, who can actually delay Medicare without being penalized, and then how to avoid penalties that will last a lifetime based on your enrollment. For those new to our channel, I'm Joseph Pate, better known as Medicare Joe, and myself and my team here have helped thousands enroll correctly. And the enrollment window is really where we see the most confusion amongst people that are new to Medicare for the first time. When you're aging into Medicare, your first enrollment window to be aware of is what's called your initial enrollment period. This is a 7-month window that lasts 3 months before you turn 65, your birth month turning 65, and then 3 months after you turn 65. This is the most common window for enrollment because it's your age-in window. It's when people are turning 65 and getting onto Medicare for the first time. They have that 7-month period to effectively enroll. Now, what's happening more and more is people are working past the age of 65. And that is when many people look to delay their Medicare enrollment here. And it's very important that you make sure that you can actually delay enrollment without being penalized. Because if you miss this initial 7-month window and you don't have what's called creditable coverage, which I'm going to get into in a second, you can face lifetime penalties, which are permanent. You can't appeal them and you can't get rid of them once you have them. So this second window would be for those that are actually still working and effectively plan to delay their enrollment past the age of 65. And if you are planning to do that, you typically would start your Part A of Medicare still, and you would delay the Part B of Medicare because you probably still have your employer-based plan. Now, it's considered creditable coverage and allowable for you to delay your Medicare Part B only if you or your spouse are actively working, you're covered by that employer-based plan, and that employer has more than 20 employees. If you meet all of those criteria, you can effectively delay Medicare because you have creditable coverage. Now, if you're under that threshold of 20 employees, then you will need to start A and B. And you can still keep your employer plan, but it's going to act as a secondary. This is where penalties really start to happen, is around that delaying of Medicare. So if you delay your Medicare after turning 65, you need what's called a special enrollment period to get onto Medicare. It's a qualifying event now that you've turned 65 to be able to actually get on to Medicare. So losing the creditable employer coverage is considered a qualifying event, a special enrollment period for you to enroll into Medicare. Now, there's 2 separate windows of enrollment here to avoid penalties. And again, this is where it gets everybody, because when you're delaying your Medicare coverage, you have several parts that get delayed with it. And first, starting with Part B, that is the medical portion of your Medicare. So what happens is when you retire and you lose your medical coverage through your employer, you actually have 8 months after that time frame to get onto a plan and avoid penalty. So you have an 8-month window. And again, this is where it catches a lot of people because that's just the Part B enrollment window. Part D is the prescription drug portion of your plan, which is also covered typically on your employer-based plan. When you lose that through your employer, you need to enroll within 63 days of losing that coverage by the employer plan to avoid having to pay penalties on the Part D prescription drug plan. Again, this is what catches everybody. It's confusing. I get it. People a lot of times just assume like, hey, I can retire and then just get onto a plan. We recommend wholeheartedly that you confirm you have creditable coverage so you can actually even delay your Medicare enrollment at that point. And if you can delay your Medicare enrollment, start the process of getting things lined up about 90 days before you intend to retire. 90 days is kind of like that perfect number to start planning this all out, get it all in good order before your plan actually is going to start and your employer plan is actually going to end. This way, there's no gap in coverage, and this way, there are no lifetime penalties that get assessed. So now that we've kind of gone over the enrollment windows, I want to talk about why it's so important to avoid these penalties And the main concept is their lifetime. They do not go away. And the penalties, again, are made up of two different parts. So part B, again, being your medical coverage, the way that penalty works is they charge you a 10% upcharge penalty on the Part B premium for every 12-month period you didn't have creditable coverage, but you were eligible to enroll into Medicare and didn't. So a quick example here that I'll put up is, let's say the premium is $200 a month. It changes every year. You have a 10% upcharge. You didn't have Part B for two 12-month periods. That's your $200 a month Part B premium now becomes $240 a month. Again, that's for life. It doesn't go away. Now on the Part D side, it's a 1% upcharge penalty per month you didn't have credible coverage and you were eligible to enroll and chose not to, or didn't know you had to, right? It doesn't matter. Ignorance to the rule is not an appealable way to get rid of this penalty. You get the penalty regardless. So if the plan, the national base premium, let's just say is $30 a month, and you have a 1% upcharge, and you didn't have coverage for 2 years, 24 months, that $30 a month drug plan now is going to be $37 a month for you. And again, that penalty does not go away. It's for life. So again, this video is purely educational, and I want you to remember from this video a couple key points. Number one, you have a 7-month window starting 3 months before you turn 65. That's your initial enrollment period to figure this all out and make sure you can actually delay your Medicare if you're going to be working. If you can delay your Medicare, you need to make sure that you have creditable coverage through that employer. And lastly, if you miss your enrollment window or handle them inappropriately, lifetime penalties are permanent. You cannot appeal them. So if you're on Medicare or about to be on the Medicare and you want to make sure that you enroll successfully and avoid these mistakes, there's a link below. You can book a call with our team. We'd be happy to talk about your situation, make sure that you avoid any mistakes with your enrollment. If you found this video helpful, please give us a like. That certainly helps the algorithm here with pushing our content out to more and more folks like yourself. And if you're in that Medicare research phase, click that red subscribe button. We post weekly videos on Medicare that you're going to want to stay in tune with so you can get that information for your successful enrollment. Thanks for watching.